Susanna Kaysen is a young 18-year-old woman, and her life isn't exactly what everyday 18-year-old life is supposed to be like. To her, any kind of relationship is casual, and it doesn't matter who she does it with or when, as long as she gets it. At her father's birthday party, she is underdressed and is of course moaned at by her hypocritical mother. Here we learn that her parents' friends are just as false as what is accepted by everyone. And then, it becomes clear that Susanna has been sleeping with her mother's friend's husband. This drives her to commit suicide with aspirin and a bottle of vodka to get it all down. At the ER, she claims that she doesn't have bones in her wrists anymore and tells the psychiatrist at home that the bones had grown back by the time she got to the hospital. So she is shipped off to Claymoore, a local mental institution, and put in the ward for women only. Here she meets many people who have problems. The ward is managed by nurse Valerie Owens, who is very clever but cannot become a doctor due to her race. Valerie keeps all the nursing staff and patients marginally sane, and she and Susanna have a complex relationship. Susanna is questionably diagnosed with a borderline personality disorder. Things start when the sociopath runaway patient Lisa Rowe returns to the ward and turns Susanna's world upside down and inside out. She is a force to be reckoned with. She is magnetic, rebellious, doesn't take her meds, and is unhealthy for the other patients as she breaks down their self-esteem regularly. Since her last best friend Jamie couldn't hack this when she ran away, Lisa befriends Susanna and together they start a world of trouble. Susanna keeps a diary of all her thoughts and feelings, illustrating in it and telling the tale of her stay through her daily entries. Her ex-boyfriend Tobias Jacobs visits her, and she nearly tries to make love with him in her room. He tells her he wants them to run away to Canada together, so he doesn't have to go to Vietnam. He tells her she isn't crazy and that the girls in the institution aren't really her friends, but she refuses to go with him, subconsciously beginning to rely on Lisa. Then she meets the head psychiatrist, Dr. Sonia Wick, and claims she is ambivalent, saying it means she doesn't care. But Dr. Wick sees through this mask and decides to have Susanna see her from now on. Afterward, Lisa is taken to the doctor but doesn't return, and Susanna falls into a depression. Nurse Valerie has had enough and throws her into an ice-cold bath to wake her. After Susanna attacks her verbally and says that she doesn't know what she is doing, she tells Susanna that she is a spoiled, lazy little girl who is driving herself crazy. And that if Susanna isn't careful, she will throw her life away in some stupid rebellion. That night, Lisa breaks into the ward, wild-eyed and crazy, and Susanna runs away with her so they can get to Disneyland. There they hook up with hippies and eventually crash at the bulimic Daisy's house, after bribing her with promises of meds. But all turns bad when Lisa tells Daisy that she is a freak and that this apartment is a mask to hide what's happening. She breaks Daisy down, finally saying that Daisy probably likes her father molesting her and that it's probably all she has ever known. The following day, Susanna wakes up and goes for a walk to escape the sound of Lisa's voice, and returns to find Daisy playing a record repeatedly and Lisa in the kitchen. She goes up the stairs and finds Daisy's wrist slit, and she hangs herself in the bathroom. Susanna returns to the institution without Lisa and begins anew with Dr. Wick and her diary. When Susanna is ready to leave, Lisa breaks out of her padded cell and steals Susanna's diary. Beneath the ward in the maze of corridors, Lisa reads the diary aloud and tells the other girls what Susanna thinks of them. Susanna runs away from Lisa when she begins to chase her with a needle filled with a toxic-looking chemical. Susanna breaks her hand while trying to close a sliding metal door on Lisa, and they finally confront each other. Susanna finally tells Lisa that no one cares if she dies because she is already dead, and her heart is cold. She also tells Lisa that she will begin her life out of this hospital again without Lisa and the others. Lisa has a mental breakdown and attempts suicide, but the other girls dissuade her. Susanna is about to leave in the morning, but first, she visits Lisa and talks to her again. Now restrained to a bed, Lisa says she wasn't freezing and didn't mean to hurt Susanna. When she leaves, she says goodbye to all her friends and gets into the taxicab, saying that being crazy isn't about keeping a secret, it's just about everyone being personified. And by the 70s, most of her friends were out of the institution and leading lives. The girl, who was just interrupted by herself and everyone else, finally recovers from being a supposed borderline.